the sentence that the judge gives. Some sit in the cells with their books. They use the time to feed their minds, don't care about the dirty looks. Yo, I take for what it took to be a crook. Push your head, yo, I'll never...
Welcome, everyone who's listening out in Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, which we're all streaming live to you, presented by the Gorilla Position Network. It is Inside the Gorilla Position, a very unique talk show, a round table that is fit with some pros and some joes, meaning some guys who have experienced the professional wrestling ring and just guys who then are fans. For those of you that are new to the broadcast, you should be hearing this for the first time on Spotify, iTunes, and many more of your favorite streaming podcast providers. Tonight, on this episode, we will talk, as always, we talk Monday Night Raw, we talk AEW Dynamite, we throw in a little SmackDown, maybe a little pay-per-view. But the main topic of tonight's show will be the discussion on, and I say this, everyone has an opinion. Opinions are like rectums, and we all have them. So in this edition of Inside the Gorilla Position, happily named Shoot the Shit Saturday Night, we will talk, the main topic will be, what will the WWE be like without Roman Reigns for the unforeseeable future, so to speak, with his new contract with lesser dates, along with him doing a movie and only being available for certain shows. I will bring up everybody who comes in on the order that they come into this room. At this time, I'd like to bring the benefactor, known as my producer, a great guy, a brother from another mother, Mr. Mickey Biggs.
Hello, everybody. What's going on out there?
How we doing this evening?
Doing the same thing as always, just chilling and ready for a great show.
Awesome. We're hoping that this will be the first show that will be uploaded to various streaming engines within the next few days. A little bit of my own busyness holding us back a little bit, but I aim to please, and I will get this going as ASAP. And without further ado, let me bring the second person that entered the studio, Mr. AJP himself, live from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Sidewalk Sam.
What's up, guys? How you doing tonight?
Doing all right, my brother. How we doing?
Well, we had the first barbecue of the summer tonight, so it was great. The weather's nice up here, and they had a free show here in Nova Scotia here today. So if anybody wanted to go, it was for free. So yeah, but I didn't go. But I heard that it didn't draw as well as they thought it would.
Very interesting. So we will bring the third member, four in all, but the third man to enter the studio, the APOC, the stiff one himself, Mr. Mike King. How we doing, brother?
Tired.
I've
been on the bike all day.
Oh, there you go.
So,
nice.
Mike, I got to say, I'm looking forward to your new show, The Pinstripes Talk.
oh, please. That clown, first of all, okay, he doesn't have the sack to show up. And I wouldn't talk about the Yankees with him because he'll curse the freaking team. Right now, they're the hottest team in baseball, and I'm not even touching it. So,
yeah.
Let's dive right into it because a lot of reports are coming out that he's only going to be off house shows.
Okay.
He's going to be on TV and he's going to be on a pay-per-view. Other than that, he's done with house shows. If he kept going the way he was going, he'd be wrestling over 100 matches this year, and he doesn't want to do that. So, I don't know. It's conflicting reports. You know, Capelli put out something, Gazoo put out something. saying that he was coming off TV for 10 weeks.
I've seen both. I've seen both sides of that. That he's going to be off TV. He's going to be just doing off house shows. He's going to be off until after Labor Day. So there's no concrete decision yet that's being promoted.
Right. If he's going to be off completely, TV, house shows, pay-per-view until after Labor Day, he's got to drop them titles. He cannot hold those titles and be completely gone from WWE till after Labor Day. It makes no sense whatsoever.
I'm just going to say this. I know that everybody.
Here we go with the Forbes conspiracy.
No, I'm not comparing anything, man. I'm not. I'm not. And just, you know what I mean? Like I said, our community is not socialistic or communistic. It is democratic, and we speak here.
Just so you know, I'm in the mood to break balls, so let's go.
I understand that. You're always in the mood to break balls.
I can go for a sec. He's the most over guy in wrestling since John Cena. So if he just wants to do TV, not necessarily every SmackDown show, but just does the pay-per-views, and he wants to go do a movie, I still think that's great for professional wrestling and competition. Let him get his name out there, do the movies. Let him get more hype, and let him do that.
But what I'm saying is, if the reports are true that he's not going to be on TV on SmackDown,
if he isn't around
Labor Day,
if he isn't around for, so to speak, 10 weeks, just hear me out.
Yeah.
I think that, and I know everybody insults the writers and the creative and this, that, and the other.
No, I'm not insulting anybody. I'm just saying.
I really, truly believe that if this was to happen, that this isn't just something that came on their desk. It's definitely been known for a month or two or more that this opportunity was definitely going to happen. Okay, let's just put that out there.
Well, he was on SmackDown last night, so.
Okay. So, why can't they just write an angle in? Write something in that he needs to show up to forfeit said titles. Then said titles aren't forfeited, but he's able to keep himself like just live vignettes from whatever show he's on. Even if they're not live, they can fake the liveness. They did this in the past. They can make an they can make this interesting.
I was thinking
and then just let me finish this out while I can, and then you can say what you're thinking. Okay. And number one of what a lot of people complain about with the WWE is there's so many people under contract that they don't see this superstar, or they're not spotlighting the U.S. title. They're not spotlighting the Intercontinental title. They're not doing anything. Talking. No, I understand that, but can I tell you, they are a little right when you have two of the most prestigious titles in the WWE that aren't making pay-per-views.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but you're saying it in a smart manner when Forbes says it in a dumb manner. So go on.
Okay. I just think this is perfect timing for the WWE to concentrate on highlighting other things. And why not do like what they do in the UFC, where you get an interim, not an interim champion, but you say Roman Reigns, if he's not at Money in the Bank to turn said belts in, then you forfeit your championships. They display a brand new belt that is going to be used in uniform. What if and they make a story around the brand new belt? You know what I'm saying? So everybody knows the belt's going to be there. Everybody knows there's a brand new belt. And Cody and whomever, they have it. They come up that night. Oh, Roman Reigns ain't here. We will have a 4-way ladder match to determine the brand new unified WWE World Universal Champion. There's the belt. You let Cody win. Roman's able to disappear. you don't recognize what Roman does. Roman goes all the way, and you can rewrite him back in to get a shot at WrestleMania, especially if The Rock ain't going to be there and they can't get The Rock. I am truly believing that if Roman does leave, they can write it where he won't sorely be missed.
Yeah.
Right.
If they do the right thing, they can highlight some stuff they haven't highlighted in a long time. I haven't even touched on the subject that they're going to unify those tag team belts. And like I've been saying all along, we're not privy to those real big meetings that Fox executives and USA executives have. And
who's winning the tag titles?
I don't know who's I'm just saying it looks like they're going to unify them.
Right.
And just
in your opinion, who do you think is going to win them?
Who do I think is going to win them? I honestly think that it's going to turn out to be, if Roman really does leave, the only way to keep the Usos in the spotlight and try and keep the bloodline together for that 10-week span would probably be the Usos. But the more over team that truly probably would highlight it better would probably be RK Bro.
Okay. So what happens next Friday if it's a Fezuk finish and neither one of them win?
Okay. No,
I'm just saying.
I just think and hear me out. I believe that they're actually both networks are happy with what they're doing with the bounce between with the champion being seen, and I guarantee they're talking about. Listen, if we're able to shorten our roster up, we can write better storylines between both programs, and everybody stays healthy. Yes, can a few people stay exclusive to Monday night, and can a few people stay exclusive to Friday night? That can all be worked so that everybody is happy. I've just been saying this all along.
I think they might be using a less is more method, because like the less you see somebody not wrestling, the more you want to see them in the end wrestle. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. But see, here's my issue with the whole thing is that and I'm not saying that anybody's wrong about what's being reported. I'm not saying that Capelli's wrong for posting that. I'm not saying that you're wrong for what you're thinking, Jay. I'm just going by what I saw, what I've read, especially from Fightful Select, saying that that he's being pulled off of house shows because he doesn't want to work that kind of a schedule. So again, I mean, what you're saying makes sense, but we all know WWE is not that smart. Jay, are you frozen?
But, yeah, Roman Reigns could be smart too, right? Like he sees. I think
but it's got nothing to do with Roman Reigns. It's got to do with the writers. Jay's frozen. Jay bounced out.
But like, do you think Roman Reigns was more over now than The Rock was over when he was at WWE?
No. I mean, you're comparing apples to oranges. Back then with The Rock, it was the Attitude Era. Rock had to go a different route because when he came in as Rocky Maivia, people hated him. He was just not. It was not anybody's cup of tea, anybody's cup of coffee. Nothing. It was.
I think Roman Reigns was the same way with the Shield. He wasn't that over.
Absolutely not. No, the Shield was over. It's a different path. It's Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Moxley all took the same path, and then when the Shield ran its course, which I think they split them up too soon, they should have kept them together a little bit longer. They split them, and then they brought them back together, and then Moxley went to AEW, and which, by the way, he's working on a handshake deal as well. He hasn't signed a new contract yet. I heard that the other day because his contract
with AEW.
Yeah, its contract ended in April. I did not know that.
They welcomed him back quick back in WWE.
Oh God, yeah. I like. So, what are your opinions about the whole Edge and Finn Balor and AJ storyline?
Well, you know, Finn Balor's going to turn on AJ and join the faction, right?
Nope. I don't think
you don't think that's going to happen.
No, I think it's gonna the fourth member is gonna be Ciampa, and I honestly think that instead of doing the Bullet Club, because the WWE's having a hard time getting the rights to that from New Japan, you might see the reformation of the NWO. That would be a good storyline.
I had some internet issues. I apologize for that.
No, but you're not talking anymore, so shut up.
What did Pelly say now? I want to, if you can just speed me up.
Go ahead, Pelly. Repeat what you said.
Yeah.
What did I say? I can't.
Oh, my God. All right, moving on. Moving on. I was just talking about.
I was talking about Roman Reigns being over like John Cena, and I think
you said The Rock. Get it right.
Okay. Yeah. So I think like
Pelly, wake up. We're on the air, Pelly. Wake up.
I think Roman Reigns, I think he has an idea that if The Rock can make that much money in Hollywood, and Roman Reigns might not on the level that The Rock was over back in his WWE tenure, but he's not there yet, but he could be. Maybe he can make just as much money or level to the money that The Rock is making in Hollywood.
Never.
Roman Reigns' personality outside the ring is drier than fucking I don't know what. The Rock has that.
Outgoing personality.
Yeah, he's got that it factor that draws everybody to him. Roman Reigns doesn't have that. Like,
I agree.
You could just tell by, yes, what he's doing good in the ring as a heel, but the only reason why anybody believed that he was a heel is because they put Paul Heyman with him. If you took Paul Heyman out of that equation early on in this run, he wouldn't make it. Paul Heyman made him the heel that he is, and nobody understands.
I still think Roman Reigns can make more money in Hollywood than he is making in wrestling right now.
Oh, that's nothing is going to be doubted there.
Right.
When I look at Roman, I look at him being somebody like a John Cena style actor.
You got to understand.
I don't see him having the type of cast. The as Mike said, the personality, I don't think Roman has that je ne sais quoi, as they say.
No, he doesn't. Even as a wrestler, Roman's a one-dimensional wrestler. What does he really do in the ring but spear and Superman punch?
Yep. What did John Cena really do?
That's it.
They have great matches.
Yeah.
The Rock just is more personal.
John Cena's not Roman Reigns is not as a worker, I think a better worker, like Randy Orton's a way better worker than Roman Reigns. I think there's half the roster is a better worker than Roman Reigns, to be honest with you. It's just that because he turned heel and he's got Paul Heyman and he's got the Usos with him, that it works. As a faction, it works.
Who else do you think in WWE could transfer from sports entertainment to a Hollywood star?
I don't think I think Drew McIntyre could do the same type of thing. I could see but I can see Cody being a way better actor than the others. You know what I mean? I think Roman would be perfect as a John Cena style actor, getting some goofy, parts like what was that? The Stepfather or whatever that movie was with Mark Wahlberg and
he was never in
Will Ferrell. Yeah, he was. He was the father. He was in Big Dad. He was in part 2.
Cena was the father of who? Because Mark Wahlberg and Farrell were the two fathers. So.
Yes, he ended up being the stepfather of one of the kids. Oh, Mark Wahlberg's kid. He ended up being the stepfather in part 2. And Mark Wahlberg gets all jealous because it's John Cena. Not that he's John Cena, but he's this cool muscle head that rides a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Well, and when his time is done in WWE, I think the Miz could do some Hollywood acting.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
He's already done some, but not to the not to the level of The Rock. But he could do like some supporting cast, some like I've never seen any of the Marine movies, but
they're not worth it.
They're nothing special.
Yeah. I'd rather watch paint dry.
So does anybody know where Sticky Fingers Forbes is, or
hiding?
Vinny Capelli, a.k.a. The Gazoo.
So, Mike.
Yeah.
Your favorite wrestler is not going to be on TV for a while.
Who?
Charlotte Flair.
Good.
What really happened to Charlotte? I didn't read on it.
She's doing a movie.
They said Ronda Rousey broke her radius, but she's taking time off to go on her honeymoon and stuff with Andrade.
Yeah, she's also doing a movie.
Okay.
I thought they were Splitsville, and all of a sudden they're married. Okay.
Yeah, see, I heard that too. I heard they had split up.
You know, and people are like, "Oh, what's WWE going to do without Roman Reigns?" They're already putting Cody in that position to be the number one guy.
Yep.
And nobody gets that. And at first, I thought Cody was just going to be another mid-carder, but the way they're pushing him, I don't see. I see him taking. I see him either taking them. If Roman Reigns is leaving, Cody's going to step up and challenge him for the belt. He's going to win him.
Him and Seth had another great match on the pay-per-view.
Yep.
Yeah, they did. Most did.
And then I thought his match the other night on Monday Night Raw was real good.
Yep.
You know, we haven't talked Raw in a long time.
Well, I was just talking about the whole Finn Balor and AJ Styles versus Judgment Day. I said that, you know, they're doing the 2 Sweet and everything. They really can't do the Bullet Club because WWE cannot get the rights from New Japan.
Yeah.
And so hypothetically, they put this out. They actually redid the NWO with them too.
Really?
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
They're making a face faction to fight or go against Judgment Day. Obviously, there's another person, which I believe is going to be Ciampa and not Finn. I don't think Finn Balor is going to turn heel on him. In the beginning, I thought it was, and if he was going to do it, he would have done it by now. I don't think he's going to. I think they're going to add another person to that with AJ and Finn and a girl, and it could be Bayley.
Who's the other person that they would add in as the male wrestler?
That I don't know.
Who's out there that was part of the Bullet Club type thing that they might be able to pull into the WWE?
The one person that I can think that I could see it being would be Ali, because Ciampa keeps picking on Ali.
Okay.
So you could do that, and then if you wanted to add one more, you could probably add Dijak into it as the big man to take on Damian Priest.
Very interesting.
Just a theory. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I would love to see that.
So
happen.
they're hinting towards that they're going to
No, they're not hinting towards it. I'm just saying, what if they did that? Like, that's just a theory that I'm throwing out there. Because they're doing the whole the 2 Sweet thing. They can't really use the Bullet Club. They could use the Ballad Club, but it's AJ Styles that started the feud with Edge, and Finn Balor went out to help him.
So why can't they just resurge the OC, the original club?
They could,
because theoretically it's the original, you know.
Well, it's the original one is Ballard. That's it.
And
Alexa,
I heard that the big LG and Machine Gun Carl Anderson re-signed with New Japan.
Yeah. No, we're not leaving TNA. Yeah, you are. You are out of there. Like last year, like your underwear came off the night before. You were out of there.
There's rumors also that Big Cass is looking to that they're looking to re-sign Big Cass.
Well, they should, because he looks incredible and he did an outstanding job against Wardlow.
Yeah. They're looking to re-sign him because they have some bigger wrestlers that he can fit with right now.
And just to touch on AEW real quick, I watched that match, and what they're doing with Wardlow is 100% right.
Yeah.
Whoever's in charge of that angle is nailing it.
Wouldn't it be funny if Tony Khan was in charge of that angle?
Well, shut the hell up. I don't want to give that freaking sideshow credit.
It would be funny, though. They do say he writes the stuff, Mike.
I can see that Pat Buck has just came to be a head guy at AEW.
Yeah.
Who?
The guy, remember the red-headed guy that used to come to the ring all the time during the scrums and stuff like that in the suit?
Yeah.
WWE head writer. Yeah, he just left WWE and signed with AEW because it was less dates and basically the same job, and the travel was minimal. And of course, because they have one show a week right now,
and it's not doing that well right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if William Regal was in charge of that angle, though, with Wardlow.
It kind of has his stink all over it, to be honest with you.
Yep.
I think maybe he's now helping along with that angle. That angle's been going on a lot longer than William Regal has been.
But if you look at it, it just started getting going when Regal came on.
Right.
And,
you know what I mean?
And you do have people like Arn Anderson backstage, too.
Jerry Lynn's back there, too.
Yep.
Yeah, well, Jerry Lynn isn't really nothing special.
He was a decent agent. Now you got Sanjay Dutt over there, who was a really good agent for WWE. Not such a great in-ring worker, but you know.
I thought Sanjay Dutt was with TNA.
Nope, Sanjay is with Samoa Joe. I mean, with what's his name? In AEW, they're the black dude there, Machismo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because they're pulling an angle with Samoa Joe right now.
Yeah, did you see the new logo for Ring of Honor?
No.
It's the TBS letters. It's great. Same font and everything. It's retarded.
So they're going to do that now? They're going to make one show Dynamite and one show Ring of Honor?
You need to get rid of Rampage because Rampage sucks.
What are they doing as far as Ring of Honor right now?
It's supposedly it's going on TBS. That's the last I heard and what I read. But Rampage, you know what? Rampage pulled 200,000 viewers last Friday.
Wow.
They did a .02 or something like that. It was gross.
Well,
what is
NXT level ups on the same time? They must be drawing just the same. NXT level up.
I haven't even watched NXT level up, and lately NXT's been okay. It hasn't been great.
I haven't watched NXT in a while.
I know the Authors of Pain are coming out of retirement.
Really?
Starting their own with Paul Ellering.
This
that's in England. In England.
Yeah. Yep.
Very interesting.
Yep.
What do you think about the Freddie Prinze Jr. gimmick?
I think that's going to be hilarious if he does it.
Who does he get a TV deal with?
I have no idea. Yeah, I don't think
He
there's
knows
really
enough people in the business. He knows enough people in the entertainment business.
What? Say that again?
I say he knows enough people in the entertainment business. He'll get some sort of TV deal. I can't see it like being a cable company, but
I'll tell you right now, if he does go ahead and do it, you'll see some good storylines because that kid can write.
What would you think about wrestling coming back to MTV?
I don't know. I haven't watched MTV since I stopped playing music videos.
There you go. The resurgence of MTV with Freddie Prinze Jr.'s Professional Wrestling League. It's the only channel that I can think of that is going to get a huge amount of viewership for professional, especially when it comes to professional wrestling.
There's negatives like sometimes I think the all these new wrestling promotions saturates the product, but it's good for the boys because it gives more opportunities for wrestlers out there.
Without a doubt.
It's not really saturating the product. It's the control of the narrative is just the shits. And I think he just wants to give a different alternative than AEW and WWE, because AEW is supposed to be the alternative to WWE, and they're really not.
No, I agree with that.
It's unfortunate because they have so much talent over in AEW, and they're not even using everybody properly.
Nope.
Where the hell's Miro been? He hasn't been on TV since last November.
Wow.
Last November. He hasn't been on TV since then.
He lost the belt, and he lost the belt, and then
he lost the belt and wrestled one more match after that, and he's been gone off. And they just re-signed him to another 2 years. For what reason? Same thing with Brian Cage. Brian Cage, where's he been? He made an appearance at Ring of Honor's last pay-per-view. You haven't seen him since.
I saw that the WWE won't sign him because he's too indie.
Yep.
That's what he was
I
too
agree
indie.
with that. I totally agree with that. WWE is going, we've discussed this over and over again, but they're going a different path. I understand why they're not taking indie guys. Triple H did an interview, and he says that most indie guys have bad habits that are hard to break.
Yep.
WWE can create wrestlers.
Right.
You don't have to find them.
The last indie guy to get signed by WWE is Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, basically.
And that is because he is a sponge, and you could tell that he's been completely retrained.
He's willing to listen. He came from a good school.
Yep.
His trainers taught him well.
I only met him once. He seemed like a nice kid.
He's a wicked nice kid.
Yeah, he's definitely a good kid, a good person. And like I said, he comes from the chaotic school of wrestling. It's already well known. They've already got they got a plethora of their talent is there.
It's like, so I was talking about this to a few people in APW, right? And there's a new school. Scott Reed's opening a new school in Concord, New Hampshire. And Mike Hollow is getting involved in it, right? We all know how Mike Hollow is. He's the flavor of the day. And then when that flavor gets stale, he moves on. So he's promising Scott Reed that Johnny Ace is going to come to the show, come to the school, and check out talent and this, that, and the other. And I said to one person, I go, you do realize that WWE doesn't want to touch indie talent ever again. And the person was speechless. I go, so Mike Hall's blowing smoke up people's asses right now because they're not going anywhere near any independent promotion or independent wrestler, period. That's why they're taking kids out of college that didn't make it in a pro sport and try to teach them how to wrestle.
Yeah, they want to create their masterpiece.
Exactly.
And I honestly, so every 90-day releases in NXT, hey, if you're not going to make it, there's the door. I agree with that. Why hold on to talent if they're not going to cut it? Am I wrong? Does anybody disagree with me?
Oh, I do not disagree whatsoever.
I agree with you, brother.
You're absolutely right.
Then you got the Forbesies and other people bitching about it. Okay, well, Dexter Loomis is probably the only one that I disagree why they released him. Other than that,
why do you think they released Dexter Loomis?
I think he was too old for NXT. I don't think his gimmick would. I personally thought his gimmick would have made it on the main roster.
Oh, without a doubt.
I think that they didn't believe in him. That's the reason why they released him. That's what I believe.
I could have saw Malcolm Bivens on the main roster being a mouth for some guy.
He's gonna show up at AEW and be with the MJF. Guarantee it.
And speaking of MJF, already talking about going to WWE.
Oh, he's been vocally that he wants out of AEW because they're not giving him what he wants. And I don't listen. If you're not going to pay the kid, let him go.
When push comes to shove, I think Tony Khan's going to be a lot smarter than people think. I think he will get in a bidding war with Vince McMahon.
He'll lose.
You know, of course he will.
And you know why he's going to lose? Because Cody Rhodes is there. Cody's already said that other people from AEW are going to jump ship.
I can see it now, though. I can see that, like, Miz doing his Miz TV thing, and all of a sudden, MJF just walks out.
He could call him Miz Jr. It'd be great. A less famous Miz. That'd be great.
That would just be awesome that they were able to do that.
I'm so sick and tired of seeing CM Punk's face. I want to throw up in a bucket every time I see him.
Well, get used to it. He's gonna become the brand new AEW champion.
Well,
it's funny. AEW, they try to associate or bury WWE all the time. I think on the pay-per-view, somebody said something about AEW just briefly for a moment, and they ignored it right away. You could tell they didn't want to say anything about AEW. I don't know where it was at.
Yeah, well, I watched that Stone Cold podcast, and they talked about AEW a lot.
Yes,
on that podcast. And you know what? Why ignore it? That the kid Cody went out. Cody went out just like what's his face? Oh my God, McIntyre did. Made a name for himself and came back.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
And eventually, it's the same thing Cardona's going to do.
When Cardona comes back, he's going to be so freaking over. Like they're going to give him the Cody Rhodes treatment when he comes back. Guarantee it.
Yep.
You know what the proof in the pudding is that these guys just are not as popular when they leave Vince McMahon? Is last night I was watching a show, and the main event was the Hardy Boys versus these two indie workers that I've seen on like Game Changer Wrestling, IWC Wrestling, and International Wrestling Cartel, I believe it is. And they are out of Pennsylvania. They've been around for about 25 years. They've had some
joint.
No, they've had some good talent. I'm in my office at work.
Well, dude, you got your head down like you're rolling a fucking bone. Like,
I have a hangnail I'm trying to take care of. So they have a show last night that's in a hockey arena.
You asked.
And it's like an ice arena that would be in Canada. Pelly would understand. And even with Jeff and Matt Hardy being the main event, you're lucky if there was 1,000 people there. It just proves that, and they draw good on their own without the Hardys. I'll throw that in there. Their attendance probably grew by 200 people. It goes to show that names don't always draw. It definitely is the promotion that does it for you.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I mean, again, out of the gate, AEW, if they left WWE alone and didn't mention them every other sentence or take shots at them like they've been doing, they would probably by now be close to competition for them. But the more
they do that because they think they're competition. That's why they do.
They're not even close. They can't even break 1 million viewers on a consistent basis. It's if there's going to be a new signing, he'll break 1 million viewers. But after that, nobody cares because they signed Keith Lee. What are they doing with him?
Nothing.
Nothing. They signed Ruby. What are they doing with her? Nothing.
Swerve Strickland.
Nothing. Malachi Black. It's a mid dude. That group is a mid card faction. Hands down, it's a mid card faction. If they had the right writers, that faction should be running roughshod over AEW completely.
But I agree.
They should be beating everybody up. They should be the new version of the NWO and taking over AEW, and they not even close.
AEW's version of the Ministry.
Yes.
Huh?
AEW's version of the Ministry.
Yeah, that's all it is. And before that, it was a Dark Order, and they made the Dark Order look like a bunch of clowns.
Yeah, now the Dark Order looks like a bunch of idiots. It sucks.
So, yeah, and you know,
Dark Order reminds me of the Oddities now.
Right. And I like all these when they had that going. Everyone goes, "Oh, the Fiend's going to show up. He's going to show up in AEW." No, he's not. First of all, if Tony Khan paid him $6 million a year, he's dumb. Because that's his asking price right now to come back to wrestling is $6 million.
And if they're going to pay somebody $6 million for a show that they run once a week, they're out of their mind.
Exactly. So the safe bet, if he comes back, it's going to be the WWE. Because they're the only ones that are going to pay him that. TNA, they're not paying that kind of money. No way in hell are they paying that kind of money.
They got that type of money.
Speaking of coming back, Alexa Bliss is back, and she's trying to evolve over to that old Bray Wyatt kind of gimmick.
Speaking of comeback, did anybody see what Kayfabe News put up?
No.
So Kayfabe News is promoting that that WWE is starting a new show called Taker Search to air on the WWE network, and it's supposed to be a group of people that are competing to be the Phenom Undertaker 2.0.
Oh my God, that's great.
Is this a rib?
Yeah, it's a rib.
Kayfabe News. It's
Kayfabe News. It's a rib.
And
great.
they're reporting like the people that were part of it. Amos was one of them.
God.
Who else did they say? There was a couple females that they were putting in part of it. That they're supposed to be, the next Undertaker as part of the Taker Search. It was just hilarious. And they said that the entire time, and they said, "Oh, that might sound far fetched because the Undertaker is, there's nobody like the Undertaker, and the Undertaker is the one and only." And then they reported that there were 6 people that actually played the Undertaker, and that it was Chris Canyon that was the Undertaker that threw Mick Foley off the top of the Hell in the Cell.
My God.
Like, oh my God! Like, you got to be kidding me.
Well, for effort.
Oh yeah.
A for effort.
Speaking of Omos,
yes,
that kid cannot lose because if he loses, he's getting buried immediately. He's bad. He's that bad in the ring. He's that bad. And I feel bad for Bobby Lashley because they're making him look like the biggest jerk off right now. Have them wrestle that freaking whatever. I don't know.
It's one of the main reasons why they want to bring back Cass. They want Cass to come and work with them.
I feel bad for Cass. If Cass resigns with him, he's stupid for that. That guy's horrible. Figures is better in the ring than he is.
The worst thing they could have done was release or not re-sign Paul White because Paul White was supposed to work with him.
Yeah. Paul White would have thought about big man because he. Oh my God.
Rumor has it that Paul White's coming back as Captain Insano.
Yeah, I heard that.
I heard that.
I told you that 2 weeks ago. Where the hell you been?
That would be funny.
Well, a big man like Omos, all he needs to know is like 6 moves, but he needs to know how to do those 6 moves well. And
he's why do you think they put MVP with him? Because without him he's lost.
Yeah.
Lost. AJ Styles was put with him to teach him the basics, and he couldn't even do that.
Yeah, he doesn't do the moves he knows well. He does
No.
no.
Hey,
I agree
if
with
they
you.
do bring Paul White back as Captain Insano, then Tony Khan needs to get a hold of Adam Sandler and have him be his manager.
Have a good weekend.
Mama say.
So let's talk a little bit of Monday Night Raw. Just a quick review. So the show.
I didn't see much because I was in bed early. But
okay, well, we'll just we'll give a quick review. It starts off with RKO versus Street Profits. And Street Profits basically talking crap to RKO, saying that they were going to be on SmackDown as the new Raw Tag Team Champions, and they're going to be the ones to unify the belts. With that quickly being said, that was the furthest thing from the truth. But
I'd love to see them go heel.
They should, man. They really should.
Absolutely.
But what a great match they had.
Yep.
They had a great match.
The work, I'll tell you right now, the work-wise in the ring for WWE and Monday Night Raw has improved so much. Continue.
So that one basically wraps up, and that was I believe that ended with Riddle catching what's his name there, the skinny one, Montez Ford, out of the air with an RKO, and Orton seemed really pleased with the growth of Matt Riddle.
That heel turn's coming soon, I'll tell you that much. Guarantee it.
Then you got Liv Morgan, from what I remember, came down, interrupted the promo with Edge and whatnot.
With his new haircut.
Yep. What did you think of the new haircut?
The male version of Rhea Ripley. Anyways, go on.
I think
Edge?
Yeah, cut his hair off. He's the same haircut as Rhea Ripley.
Really?
Yeah, he has a bull dude just like her.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all cut to a point.
Yes, like he's the devil.
Yep. Well, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I know. What did you think about that match between Ripley and Morgan?
I think it's the same thing we've seen. Just the same thing we've seen before.
Yeah.
Wasn't
not for nothing, and this is how it should have went. Morgan should have got her ass handed to her. You just put Rhea Ripley with one of the biggest heels right now on Monday Night Raw. She should have never Morgan should have never gotten any offense at all. She should have been annihilated to get that over.
So there was a couple side notes that I'll read real quick. So Edge seemed to lean less into the supernatural stuff for this promo and came across as more of an angry and resentful heel instead. It's too early to tell if it's a permanent shift for his character, but it might be for the best. What do you guys think about that? That's a notable observation.
I agree with that.
Okay. They said Ripley kicked Morgan in the face at one point, and it looked like she almost took her head off. It was vicious. I remember that. Yes.
It should have been like that. The whole match should have been Ripley beating the ever-living piss out of Morgan. And Morgan should have gotten nothing.
And
just to get that angle over.
Then CBS shits on the WWE commentary table and said Ripley should come up with a name for her submission. It doesn't seem like the announcers knew what to call it. So
I heard that they're trying to book Ripley much in the same way they did China back in the day.
Well, she's got the size for it.
Yeah. It just so happens, though, I said last week about the male-female thing, and I ain't kidding you. 2 minutes after we had gone offline, my daughter and son legitimately got into a peel-off fist fight against each other downstairs.
Oh, I did it.
Okay? So for those who say that the male-female watching of wrestling, like, that's what my kids watch. And if I, you know what I mean? I'm really, truly 110% behind the fact that I
Who
don't.
won? Who won the fight?
Who won the fight? Technically, my daughter. She's 12. She should beat him up.
I did it.
He's 6
I
years
heard that.
old. Yeah, he's a wine bag. He thinks that I'm going to come down and protect him. He knows. He's trying to set it up so she gets in trouble.
Just remember this comment I'm going to make to you right now, okay? There's going to come a time when she's going to mess with him, and he's going to beat the crap out of her.
Yep, I know that. And here he is, all the way from his office cubicle.
Oh, Jesus.
In Boston, Massachusetts.
If he's got a Bruins hat on, I'm going to punch him right in the face because they freaking lost tonight.
He is the one, the only, the pinstripe piper himself.
Oh, my God.
The pink hat, Jimmy Sticky Fingers.
Dude, I will slap you, silly. Take that name off of your right now. Take it down. Because if they start losing, I'm gonna come to your house and drown you in your pool. You son of a bitch.
It's all right. He loves the Yankees. Forbes cheer for the Yankees all year. You're not allowed to be a Red Sox fan.
Shut up, you.
We have kicked you out of Red Sox Nation.
Did you wear a Bruins hat today? That's why they lost, you bastard.
3-2, and they didn't decide to play the game until 7 minutes left.
No shit.
Bye, Sweeney. See ya.
No, they're not going to get rid of Sweeney.
Can I tell you something? I don't really follow much about the hockey with all the ins and outs. I just observe with my own two eyes. But from what I'm told, the GM market right now is not very hot.
Right.
And if you were to bring in a GM, the GM is more than likely going to bring in a coach that he wants to work with.
I like Cassidy.
All right.
Yeah,
so Toucher and Rich, and I'm only going to talk sports really quick. Toucher and Rich in the early morning show said the Bruins would be the worst thing that the Bruins could do was to get rid of Cassidy, because Cassidy is a dying breed of coaching in the NHL where he still calls out players and is not afraid to ruffle feathers in his own locker room. And in Boston, if you're not that type of coach, imagine what sports talk radio would be like to eat up the next coach of the Boston Bruins.
I agree.
It's worse enough right now, and I know this, but we all better hope that number 37 doesn't sign a 3-year deal to go home to Montreal.
I hope
the only thing that saves us, hold on, the only thing that saves us, he grew up a devoted Quebec Nordiques fan, and the Stastnys were his idols.
I'm telling you right now,
don't be surprised if there's a Nordique club in the next couple of years back in Quebec.
I hope so, man.
They say they can't support him right now.
That's bullshit.
No, you could.
Well, we'll see.
I'm telling you right now, he's going to retire. He's going to retire.
Arizona plays in a 5,700 seat stadium. That's basically a college stadium. If Arizona can't find a place today
Quebec
to play, they'll go somewhere they can play.
Quebec.
But anyways, Forbes.
Yep.
What's your input on the situation? I want to hear what you have to say about the potentiality of the Roman Reigns disappearance.
Why? It's just going to be bullshit anyways.
It's all right. Listen, we're the pros. He's the Joe. I want to hear his Joe side of the line.
Okay. Look at
spelt Mark wrong.
You got how many pay-per-views coming up this summer? 3?
Yep.
Is Roman working any of them?
Not sure yet, because the reports are that he's working pay-per-views and he's working. Some come out and conflict and say he's working TV. Some are coming out and saying he's not working TV.
Okay.
The one thing that there is being verified and has 100% behind it, that he has signed on to do no house shows in the foreseeable future because of the schedule he has.
Okay, so basically wrestling is becoming secondary to him.
That's
That's fine.
Yep.
That's fine. But
Potentially, we don't know that for sure yet.
Potentially, we don't know that for sure.
If you're going to give me 5 hours of network television without a heavyweight championship for both shows, then that doesn't work for me.
Why does can I ask you something? Why
Jay, it's not 1981, bro.
I understand that. Hear me out, though. Why is the heavyweight championship, if it was to come off TV for 10 weeks? Hear me out. If it was to come off TV for 10 weeks and you got the right way to write this in, you could do really good things if you knew it was 10 weeks that he's not going to be on TV.
If you take the world title off of TV, the championship off of TV, it's not a wrestling company anymore, you dink.
Yeah. I beg to differ.
Jason,
I think for 6 months, yes, but to say for 10 weeks.
Jason, are you going to tell me that as little as valued as like they've made the tag titles, the US
but
title?
They see that's some things that they could re-establish something in. What if they want to establish that the women's title is just as important? Like these are just
put it on Ronda Rousey.
I'm just saying. I think something that would be interesting. I don't know if you heard it earlier, but why not at Money in the Bank? Cody Rhodes challenges Roman Reigns to the World Championship matchup. Roman Reigns is told that Roman Reigns keeps on saying to the fact, I ain't going to be there. I don't fight these small cowards. When they come up with an angle that he's not there, they basically strip him of the belt.
Yep,
okay?
Yep, I can buy that.
Okay?
They can keep
and there's a brand new belt hanging and they make a 4-way ladder match. So this way that when he does come back, he can be like, these are the 2 belts that rule the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? These are the tribal belts. Like this, I think that this is interesting.
Not that smart. They're not that smart.
Well, then you need to hire Vinny the Gazoo Capelli, because he could write that for them in a way that it would be remarkable for Fox and the USA executives.
They don't have to beat Roman. They can find other ways to get it off him without beating him. And how you said it, I will buy.
I think it's a gimmick that hasn't been done. And hear me out. When you don't show up for UFC, what do? They have an interim battle that night because they want a belt. And then when said person wants to come out, they take both belts and they battle it out to see who really is the champion.
It's been done twice already. It was done with CM Punk. It was done with CM Punk and Cena, and it was done with Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. Okay,
but we're talking 10 years ago. Wrestling.
Don't say it's never been done before, you dumbass.
I'm sorry. It hasn't been done in a long time.
There you go. I told you I'm in the mood today. So
that's what I meant to say. It hasn't been done in a long time.
Aren't you glad I came on tonight? They put you in your place.
And wouldn't it be cool that if this match was, say, 4 to 6 guys and 2 of them were the Usos to help protect the Tribal Chiefs Championship belt?
I think Edge needs a belt, man. I think it's time for him to be wearing one.
I think that I don't think you're going to see Edge in the ring all that much more. I happen to believe that he's going to build that stable, and Edge is going to become a special time of the year wrestler.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's going to be, 50 soon?
Yeah.
How about Randy? I think Randy.
I'd love to see Randy. Listen, Forbes, love to see Randy. Why not have, if they made a stipulation and this all happens, why not put RK Bro along with the Usos, Seth Rollins, and Cody Rhodes in a 6-man ladder match, and that would be for the brand new Eagle Winged WWE World Universal Championship.
And you know who's winning that? It's going to be Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. But still, you got two teams that the two teams basically are able to take themselves away from certain aspects, but yet make saves on the belt, while the two relevant guys who have been fighting it out all along, Rollins and Cody, could have there's just a way you could write this. And I know Capelli's ears are burning. He's like, no, they wouldn't even. How do we fucking know?
Well, you just said it yourself, Jay. I mean, you're basically telling me you can't picture no world titles in WWE for 10 weeks either. You just gave me all the reasons why I want titles.
Yep. I think, but what I'm saying is, too, I think during that 10 weeks, you can bring relevancy back to said titles that haven't been focused. I put you over earlier, man. I said Forbes and those guys are absolutely right that when you have a main show, how on prestigious belts such as the United States Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, and I said this, I've been saying for a while, I truly believe the emergence, and you are going to hear of no such thing as the technical brand split is going to, in a way, shape, and form, disappear. We're not, I'll say it time in and time out, not one of us are privy to, not even these mock sites are privy to legit boardroom talk between executives. It just don't happen. What if Fox and USA are very pleased with the way that things are going, and say, you know what?
They've already came out and said they're pleased with it. They've already said it.
So, and then here's another thing. Everybody complains about there's so many wrestlers under contract, and then they get waived, and you don't utilize enough of them. Then shrink the stuff up so that you can keep people relevant.
What about if they would have merged the IC and UC title and formed the TV championship?
Shut up. Don't even go there. That's blasphemy.
Please don't do that. How about just taking away the 24/7 championship and making it
there you go.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go. That's a good idea.
The 24/7 championship is really evolved, and their funniness is no longer funny. When you start to do a double wedding and making out, and it's just it's done with. I thought it was funny when R-Truth was doing his thing, and for a little while, I liked what was going on, but it has run its course. I'm good for it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What are they doing with Ali? Are they just going to embarrass him on his way out and just cut him?
No, I think he's going to be involved in that angle with Balor and AJ Styles.
Now, did you notice when he worked Ciampa last week? Like Ciampa was a babyface and a heel all on the same show. Started off as a babyface, then turned heel.
Yeah,
because he's going to end up being the fourth member of Judgment Day.
I thought Edge kept his hair, man.
You don't like Edge's new hairdo?
No, I thought the hair looked good for his gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and I have the same kind of hair,
without a doubt. Are you talking on your chin or the head?
Now he looks like he has the MJF haircut.
Mike said it best. He looks like he got Rhea Ripley's hairdo.
Yeah.
What did you think about Raw this week? What did you think about AEW? What do you got to hop about?
I fucking hate AEW.
Oh, really? All of a sudden, he hates AEW.
Why?
The Kool-Aid drinker in the country now hates AEW. You clown.
Jay.
Yeah.
They just do not have enough. They got all the talent they need. Not enough TV time. They need Rampage is just a tape show after Dynamite, and there's just nothing compelling. There's nothing captivating other than Wardlow, MJF, and if you want to say Punk and Hangman, okay, fine. But you got BBC or whatever Daniel Bryan's faction is, mixing it up with nobody really.
Yeah.
Double or Nothing is in 2 weeks. You tell me what the card is. I have no.
I can't stand AEW.
Well, tonight I can tell you this: that New Japan is in Washington D.C. and they're working in. There's probably about 5,000 to 6,000 people at this pay-per-view tonight in Washington D.C.
I'm sure it's in the radar for anybody who cares. Nope, can't find nobody.
So
you guys all know, man. I had a lot of investment in AEW, man.
So what do you think about the WWE the past couple of weeks? I think their storylines have been really well written, and I think that the action has been really good in the ring.
I think the action in both companies is always good in the ring, man. It's just the compelling storylines are just not there for me.
They had 1 week storyline, and that was the girls' storyline. Other than that, I found what they did theatrical wise on TV was really well. And as stupid as Kevin Owens is saying it was his brother Ken, I thought it was awesome.
That was funny shit right there. That was funny.
That was funny, man.
I didn't say it wasn't. I said as stupid as people might deem it to be, I thought it was. I love the angle that they're pulling right there. I like it.
Cool. That's an exception to rule.
He said it was his brother from Grand Prix Wrestling in Nova Scotia or something. He said.
It was great.
If they're gonna do comedy like that, cool. I'm all for it, man. But like everything else that they try to make funny is funny.
Like I thought the whole Rhea Ripley with Liv Morgan was well done. I thought the promo afterwards that was done with Damian Priest and them in the ring, I thought was well done. Another thing I really liked, I liked the fact that Alexa Bliss came out and jobbed the shit out of whoever it was.
Yeah, but you notice she was like Fury. All she had was Lily, though. I mean,
yes,
she looked.
I loved it.
Looked like the old Alexa.
Yes, I think that's what they're making her go out to be.
You know what, Sonya Deville can go.
Yes,
I didn't. Yeah, you didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I didn't
realize. What kind of mark are you?
So speaking of Kevin and Ken and that whole thing, what does anybody think about, or maybe nobody's heard about it, them talking about bringing Aaron Stevens back to play Elias?
I heard that.
I don't think that's. I think that's just a Mark fan saying that. I don't think it's going to happen. But that would be funny shit, though.
Yeah, it would.
I love the suggestion of him of him coming back to play Elias. I think that would be hilarious. What if he's working out in the gym right now so he's not as saggy as he's been on NWA Power?
Ezekiel is over. He's over. I'll tell you who's not over, and that's fucking Madcap Moss and fucking Happy Corbin. Those guys suck, man.
Yeah. Well, you know the reason why Ezekiel's over, right? Because of Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
If you didn't have Kevin Owens having fits about it, he wouldn't. It wouldn't be over.
Nobody even know who Ezekiel was.
Right.
No. I thought Madcap Moss got some good pops at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think he's getting over. I thought Madcap Moss was getting over.
See, now we gotta use that term loosely on getting over. I think that I think the fans are receptive towards him and are willing to gravitate towards him.
What kind of bullshit is that? Getting over is getting over. What? This is a wrestling talk show. Not the fans are receptive of him. You nerd.
I'm just going about what Cody Rhodes defined being over as.
Politically correct.
Politically, yeah. Like
what are we, a bunch of snowflakes now?
He said he ain't over. He says he's on the way to building that relationship with the fans on that being over.
No, he's over. I didn't think he was going to get over like he got over, but he did.
Yeah.
To me, I understand. I believe it's getting over too, but I'm saying with the way he explained it, it's getting over is a totally different thing than getting over.
Yeah, but at certain points, as much as I'm glad to see Cody over and everything like that, it's kind of getting like CM Punkish, though. It's just, they're gonna.
How are you supposed? Hey,
wait a minute. Let me take this one. Are you high? What is wrong with you?
Don't be a hypocrite.
No, listen, I'm not being a hypocrite, you freaking clown. CM Punk is being driven down everybody's throat nonstop, 24/7. He's on my favorite show, Mayans. I want to puke every time I see him.
He's
There's
on my-
no way in hell that Cody Rhodes is on the same level of CM Punk right now.
Wait
Shut
a second.
your mouth.
I watch Minds all the time. CM Punk is not on Minds.
Yes, he is. Season 4. He's on the last 2 episodes. He plays one of the brothers of the bald-headed kid.
Oh, last year.
This year.
This year, I've watched the first 4 episodes. I got 2 more to catch up on.
He's in episode 4 and he's in episode 5.
All right.
Did you watch episode 5 yet?
No, I just watched episode 3 last night when they kill the dude in the desert for him bending over that little boy.
Yeah, well,
and then I watched the first 10 minutes because I wanted to see where that went.
Yeah, well, you watch the rest of season 4 because episode 4 because Punk's in it.
Okay.
He's in episode 5.
Okay. Good.
No, it's not good.
Why?
Because it's ruining my show. That's why.
Would you rather see Miz?
No, stay out of it. That's what I want. Out of it. And then you go and say he's Cody Rhodes or CM Punkish. I ought to come over where you are and slap the shit out of you for saying that.
I'm talking about they're gonna keep blowing his load too much, man.
They're not blowing his load too much. They're building him up. If they were gonna blow his load, they would have given him the title right away. They're not doing that.
I agree.
They're doing it right. They're building him up. He's in a storyline right now with Seth Rollins, and then he's going to move on.
You think he's going to be at the 3rd time?
Yes.
Yes.
And they're putting Cody Rhodes. They're putting with the perfect wrestler to put him over to begin with, and Seth Rollins.
Exactly.
They're doing it right. They're doing it right.
And here's my thing. And if I thought that they were going to blow Cody Rhodes' load right away, it would have been the fact that when Roman Reigns said there's nobody else for me to face, Cody Rhodes would have came out immediately. They're not doing that. They're building them up to eventually take the titles off of Roman Reigns.
Well, at least we agree on that. There's got to be titles on the show.
I think when people read my words, they misconstrued what I said because I wasn't going to type out my whole explanation. You know what I mean? Of course, the title is relevant because back in the day, even though the champion did not wrestle on our shows, especially if you were an NWA fan, Ric Flair was on that product every week cutting a promo. And they had 3 different shows. If you didn't see him on one show, you'd see him on another TBS show in the studio cutting a promo with the 4 Horsemen. So, yes, I am definitely in agreement that you do need to keep the belt relevant in some way, shape, and form.
Look at Mr. Rumble backtracking now.
I'm not. Oh, come on, Mike. I'll rewind this whole thing, and
you are backtracking. Oh, they can go 10 weeks without the title being on TV. Blah 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 blah. Okay.
They can go 10 weeks without the title physically being off TV for 10 weeks.
Change your name on your bottom of your screen to Forbes Jr. because you're irking the shit out of me today. Seriously.
Hey, Mike.
What? I love you, Jay.
I think you need a Snickers bar.
As long as it's laced with weed, but I can't smoke right now, so.
Oh, you know.
I'm getting irritated.
All right, fellas, I think it's coming to an end tonight. We'll reconvene next either next Friday or next Saturday, and we'll talk more wrestling. Hopefully, some more hot topics came up. This was an interesting thing, the whole Roman Reigns thing. I find it one of the most interesting things that could possibly happen to the WWE programming right now.
Yes, but see, when he comes to Mania and he faces The Rock, they don't need this.
No, I agree with that.
They don't.
I believe that because the titles become irrelevant to the fact that Roman wants to be deemed the tribal chief.
Yep.
Right. So here's my final take on the whole Roman Reigns thing. If you have conflicting reports, 9 out of 10 times, it's all bullshit. And he's going to be on TV every week.
I look at it this way. You're absolutely right. Maybe because of his brand new AKA contract that was signed, people are deeming that this is going to happen.
Right. Only thing we can do is sit back and see what happens.
That's right.
Hey, what are the reports that Bray is just done? You guys have any? Yeah.
He wants $6 million a year.
Yeah.
That's his number to come back. And
He hasn't been around for over a year, and I'm just saying it this way. Who really misses him except for you?
I don't miss him.
No one's paying him $6 million.
Yep. Imagine if he comes back for $6 million. He says, "I'm not working any house shows, just Monday Night Raws." You think he's worth working 4 times a month?
No, absolutely not. Nobody's worth working 4 times a month. Not even Brock Lesnar, and he's making $12 million a year.
Dude,
absolutely not.
If they gave him $6 million a year, he better be setting up and tearing down that ring too.
Yeah, Vince is not. Plus, Bray's heavy. You know what I mean? You don't like heavy dudes.
Have you seen the latest picture of him? Because he ain't heavy anymore.
Yeah, I seen that picture at that WrestleCon he was at. It looks tremendous.
Yeah.
The picture he took. Yeah, the picture he took with Braun Strowman and Eric Rowan.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, and here's what really kind of baffles me is that for the first time in a year, they made a reference to the Fiend.
I saw that. I heard that. Corey Graves.
So we'll see what happens. He could be coming back. Who knows? Nobody knows.
Listen, all I know is Money in the Bank. They're going to have to go out of their way to fill a 100,000 seat stadium.
Hey, they can do a Phenom Undertaker 2.0. They can do a Fiend 2.0.
With that being said, let's get to the potting shots. All I can say is it will be an interesting thing if the WWE does have to deal with Roman Reigns leaving TV for 10 weeks. I will be very interested to see what they will do to keep things relevant because you're essentially busting up what has been the hottest storyline the WWE has had for the past 2 years.
Absolutely.
Well, that's why I don't see it happening. I think it's all bullshit. I think people are just speculating because he said he wanted to come off house shows and he cut that promo saying that he's moving on to a new stage of his career. I just think it's all bull.
Okay.
And Forbesy, you're still a clown.
What do you got to say there, Mr. Pinstripes?
Celtics take it home tomorrow night, baby.
There you go. Any wrestling news? Will we have any people on the waiver wire? Do you expect to see anything different?
Oh, well, his big list came out. It was supposed to be May 5th. And
yeah.
Nobody got released, you ding dong.
Yeah, I don't see a list. I don't see any list happening.
That's good.
I have to retract my whole list.
Yeah.
Mickey Biggs, what do you got to say?
Not much tonight. Been a great show and a lot of discussion about Roman Reigns, and we'll just wait and see what happens, as we said.
Awesome. Adam Jack Pelly.
We're saying this Roman Reigns thing. I think Eric Bischoff said it best. Controversy creates cash.
I like that. Well, with that being said, I want to thank everybody who listens live in Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and be on the lookout for Inside the Gorilla Position with Jason Rumble and Da Boyz, soon to be released on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and whatever the other streaming podcast search engines are. So for the rest of the crew, I'm the Boston bad boy, Jason Rumble. We'll see you next week. And
Forbes, we're going pool hopping.
You're welcome anytime, Michael.
All right, boys, have a good night. Go Celtics!